Hello and welcome to the Business Spotlight interview series. I'm your host Sonali Nigam, and today I'm joined by Baz Kooner, founder of Virtuous Brand and Bespoke Corp Limited. Baz, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having us today.
Pleasure is all mine. Thank you. So, would you like to kick us off with a brief background as to who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Baz Kooner. I've been in the business industry now for like the last 15 years, self-employed. Like to think of myself as a bit of an entrepreneur. So I've had various businesses, but currently we are a husband and wife team. We are operating Virtus Brands and Bespoke Corp, just as you said. So Bespoke Corp is our kind of service arm of the business where we do various things like, like glass and logistics and bottling. And then Virtus Brands is our core business, which is our spirits business, where we have a range of vodkas, gins, whiskies, tequilas that we distribute not just in the UK, but now in 18 countries around the world.
Wow, the power couple is running in the entire world, I would
We're
say.
trying,
So,
trying. That's the fun.
yeah, so what do you attribute your growth to?
I think the biggest thing, attributing growth is definitely grit and determination. I think you've got to be passionate about what you do. You've got to have that go get it attitude. You can't stop. There's going to be highs, the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. I think any entrepreneur or business person out there will definitely understand that. You can have a very dull morning and a great afternoon, and then a dull afternoon, and then it's just the cycle of being an entrepreneur. So I think definitely just keep your grit and determination, and just keep on moving forward. So little steps every day, and then before you know it, you've definitely kind of made a big move forward. I think that's definitely that's what I attribute my growth towards.
Interesting. You mentioned about the highs and the lows. So, what would you say are the biggest learning as an owner of the business running successfully?
I think there's so many cliches out there. People see online where they fail fast and fail quickly and don't be scared of failure. And what, you hear all these things and you kind of look at it and you think that's just kind of a load of rubbish, or you think that that's just random. But when you're actually in the entrepreneurial journey, you'll see that that is very true. It's the more experience you become, I think hire fast, fire fast. I think that's definitely something that I've obviously we kind of brought on board, and just definitely just kind of making quick thinking decisions. But those come more calculated with time. So the more experienced you become, the decisions that you can kind of create are obviously going to be better. So I think don't be kind of afraid to learn across that journey. Don't be afraid to kind of ask people's opinions. And as you said earlier, you're saying about networking and meeting the right individuals. Ask for advice. I think that is definitely experience is the biggest thing here. And the more experienced you become, I think the better the entrepreneur.
Interesting, Buzz. Yes, you're talking about the experiences. So, what are some common misconceptions about running a business, and how do you address them?
Well, I saw something online the other day, and I thought it made me laugh. It was a little clip, and you may have seen it. It was Dana White turning around and saying, people want to start their own business because they want to have flexibility, and
Yeah.
they want to be able to run their own hours and all this stuff. And that is just totally the opposite. You eat, sleep, and breathe this industry. There's no switch off button. You're literally constantly turned on from the moment you're asleep. Sorry, the moment you're awake to when you're asleep. Sometimes in your sleep as well.
Oh
So I think
God.
definitely that's one of the biggest things, is there is no switch off button. So if you are entering the entrepreneurial journey and entering the business world, just be prepared. There is no switch off. However, when you are an entrepreneur, you're wired a certain way, and I believe that you are kind of prepared for that. You're prepared for that business world, and just enjoy what you're doing. As long as you enjoy what you do and you love what you do, I don't think there's kind of any kind of lows. I think you're kind of just enjoying that journey along the time. Obviously, there'll be stresses in terms of making things balance and making the business balance and the books and the money, and that's always kind of a secondary. But I think if you always enjoy what you do, there isn't that many lows, in my opinion. I think, for me, I often look and think, would I be able to go and work for someone, or would I be able to do something like that? That isn't the way that I'm kind of wired. It would kind of be, this is definitely the journey for me. Yeah.
You talked about balance. You talked about there's no switch off button. And I'm very keen to know, how do you strike that, balance between your personal life and the professional one while you're running a business?
I think for me, it hasn't been so much obviously the balance in terms of the personal life. I suppose it's bringing your personal life business journey as well. So for me, my wife is in the business as well. She runs certain aspects and has her own departments. We have a young family, so we've got four daughters as well. So when we started this business, we had four under the age of two, and they're 8, 7, and 6-year-old twins now.
Yeah,
So for us, it's kind of a very young family, and kind of we're now
I'm sure.
bringing that family into the business. So
Yeah,
we've actually got a wedding hall as well, and recently we hosted a young entrepreneurs event. So we kind of aimed it from children that were the age 5 all the way up to the age of 15. We had about
wow.
40 tables, and we had different stands. Some were selling sweets, some people were doing mendy, some people were doing the stickers and books and all sorts of stuff. And it's a great event. So for me, it's like they came forward with a business plan. They came forward with what their price point was. They went around the cash and carry and bought their sweets. So for us, it's kind of bringing that kind of balance into the business. But at the same time as well, there is, I'm trying to learn this a bit more as well, is to kind of take those small moments away where
Yeah,
you can spend family time and, appreciate that time.
yeah.
But, this is what you work so hard for that small amount of time as well. So there will never be a 50-50 balancing act if you're in business. I think there'll always be maybe like an 80-20 or a 90-10.
Uh-huh.
The family aspect will be secondary, but where you can bring that family aspect into the business. I mean, my kids are often running around the office. They're here terrorizing the staff, and they've grown with them as well. So for us, it's a case of bring that into the business best you can.
Oh,
Because
wow.
it's part of your life. Yeah.
I love the amalgamation of your family in the business and how your
Yeah.
daughters are supporting as well. I really loved it. But talking about it, I'm sure every business has their own challenges. And in the current scenario, I mean, what challenges are you currently facing, if I can ask that, Baz?
Our challenge is day to day. I think there's always a challenge of having the right team. That's a consistent challenge. Making sure that you got the right people with the right energy to move forward. I think we're very fortunate now. We've got a very strong team. I mean, we scaled back from a team of 18 back down to a team of 11 recently. We always thought that kind of expansion was the way forward, but you start to lose certain elements of control. So that needs to be one thing. That's one challenge. The other challenge is that the market always changes. The market where the spirits business 5 years ago is very different to where it is now.
Yeah.
The UK is definitely in a recession. There's an article already the other day of so many millionaires leaving the UK, and you can definitely see that in the spend. And we're in luxury items, so spirits are a luxury. We're high end. We're £30, £40 a bottle. So that's we're a luxury product. So you can definitely see that. So the way that we've combated that is now we have focused more on the international approach. So we're getting, you have to go where your customer is. A lot of our customer now is in US, Canada, and India. We're just about to launch in India.
Wow.
So we're going where our market is and where our market's dictating us. So for us, you kind of have to be adaptive. And what worked 5 years ago, what worked 5 minutes ago might not work in 10 minutes time. With the way that socials are and the way that obviously the industry is very kind of fast moving and fast paced, I think you need to keep your finger on the pulse at all times to be able to kind of stay fluid as a business and be able to adapt to where you need to adapt.
Interesting, Baz, and I'm sure our audience have picked up so many things so far. Is there any closing remark or a golden nugget that you would like to share with the audience?
Yeah, I think I always go back to the same thing of, I ask myself this regularly and I ask my wife this and I ask the team this as well. It's like, what is your why? So when I say what is your why, it's like, why are you here? What is it that you're looking to achieve in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years time? And those goals may change in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years time. However, as long as you keep on moving forward to all those goals and obviously knowing what your purpose is and what you're trying to achieve, I think you'll always kind of have a clear vision of where you need to go. So I think if you're asking yourself that challenge all the time, you'll know exactly how you need to go, and then you can figure out how you need to get there. So as long as you know
Wow.
where point A and point maybe D is, you can figure out B and C along the way. That's
Mm.
my kind of thing. I think just kind of have a clear approach and don't be afraid to brain dump stuff onto paper, draw it out, map it out, and go back to the drawing board. Take a bit of time out of the business to work on the business. Those are the kind of things that you need to be looking at, to really kind of grow a successful business for exit, in my opinion.
Baz, some strong points, and I think we've already
Yeah.
got our headline for the podcast. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time today. It was
Okay,
great
brilliant.
meeting you and learning so much about your journey. And
That's great.
to everyone watching, I look forward to see you in my next episode. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thank you for having us. Thank you very much.
Thank you.